When I ask people what their online marketing strategy is, 9 times out of 10, they say something like ChatGPT or TikTok or webinars or SEO or all of the above. But those are tools and tactics, they're not strategies. And the thing about tools and tactics is they come and they go. But marketing strategy, it's timeless. And when you understand strategy first, you can jump into just about any tactic, including ChatGPT or whatever else is coming down the pike, and make it work because you understand what it takes to influence people, regardless of where you choose to do it or what tool you choose to use. And this makes online marketing seem so much easier and more accessible because it's not about the tools, it's not about the technologies, it's not about the tactics. It's about having a message that works on those channels. And in this video, I'm going to share the 4 strategic and timeless marketing strategies that will support you in moving people into action, regardless of where or how you choose to do it. My name is Marisa Murgatroyd, and I'm one of those rare people who have been successful online for 12 years and counting. I've used online marketing to build a multi-million-dollar business by not listening to what the experts say you have to do and focusing on what really matters, what actually matters, which is timeless strategies that work across any and all platforms, regardless of what the flavor of the month tactic happens to be. So if you'd like to stop putting the cart before the horse and stop chasing time-wasting tactics, then listen up, because the 4 strategies I'm about to share will serve you for the rest of your business career, even when the robots take over. Kidding. Not kidding. So timeless marketing strategy number 1 is to be both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. And this is something that I learned from my friends Pete Vargas and Pat Quinn. Because here's the thing, if you're only extraordinary, nobody's gonna relate to you. Nobody relates to having the perfect bikini body and the Lamborghinis in the garage. However, if you're also ordinary in some way, shape, or form, and that you started your journey where the people listening to you may currently be, and now you have a bikini body, or now you have the Lamborghinis in the garage, it makes it a lot more accessible. Because the great messaging legend Joel Roberts says that credibility is a combination of 2 things. It's a combination of expertise, the things that are extraordinary about you, and humanity, which are the things that are ordinary about you, the things that people can relate to and that allow you to feel accessible. So for example, when it comes to writing my own bio, here's how I begin. I started my career as an artist who was told by my father that I had no marketable skills. I figured out how to build a multi-million-dollar a year business anyway, and I've shown over 12,000 students how to succeed online, many of whom also felt like they had no marketable skills or were told they couldn't do it. Can you see? I started with what was ordinary about me before I went into the extraordinary, which is the money that I'm making and the people that I'm helping. And then I went back to how where I started is where many of my current students are right now. So one of the most famous marketing books of all time is called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by a guy named Robert Cialdini. And in his new expanded version of this book, Cialdini shares the 7 principles of persuasion. And this combination of being ordinary and extraordinary at the same time is about 2 of those principles. It's about the principle of authority and the principle of liking. It's about having people relate to you and at the same time having people aspire to do more, be more, and achieve more because you have attained something in your life that they have not yet attained and want to attain. Because here's the thing, when you have authority without liking, it creates distance and separation, where people admire you, but they don't necessarily feel like you're their gal or their guy, right? They don't feel like they connect to you, they don't relate to you. What you have isn't accessible to them. But when you have liking without authority, you can get stuck sometimes for years in what I call the friend zone, where people follow you, they like you, they want to hang out with you, but when it comes to buying from you, they're not that interested because you only represent the ordinary and you don't also represent the extraordinary. You don't awaken that sense of ambition and drive within them, that desire to be more and do more. So it's this combination of the ordinary, the extraordinary, the authority, and the liking that really brings things to life for you. So that is timeless marketing strategy number 1. Now, our second timeless marketing strategy is to actually be a change agent in people's lives. And many people think that begins once people become your customer. But I believe this begins before people even spend a cent with you. Because marketing, at the deepest level, is about helping people create the attitudes, the beliefs, the conditions that they need to make a change in their life. Ultimately, that they need to say yes to working with you, whatever that means. And the best way to do that is to get people into action right in your marketing, or at least get them engaging, liking, commenting, interacting, because this ties into Cialdini's principle of commitment and consistency. You see, people like to be consistent with their identity or sense of self-image. So, in Cialdini's own words, from a persuasion and influence perspective, this means that if I can convince you to act in a minor way in relation to something, then you'll think of yourself as that type of person and be more likely to act in that way again in the future. You'll also be more likely to increase your actions in that direction if I suggest that you do so. So the idea is that you get people interacting, engaging, commenting, saying yes, taking action before you even ask them to buy from you. Because that's creating what's called the yes loop, or it's creating a new self-identity as someone who's saying yes, as someone who's taking action. Now, my friend is a data scientist, and she's worked for huge companies. And one of the things that she discovered is that if you can get people doing just 3 things, if you can get people to take 3 actions, no matter how small, they're radically more likely to buy from you than simply watching you, right? So you may have heard that it takes 5 to 7 interactions before someone says yes to you. Now that's true in traditional old school sales where you're working to sell people one-to-one. Now when it comes to online interactions, that number is more often 15 to 30 interactions, sometimes as much as 150 to 300 interactions. I've had people on my mailing list for 10 years before they bought from me. However, if you're able to get people into action quicker, you can trim down that number of touch points from 150 to 300 to maybe just a few touch points, because you make those touch points really count by kickstarting that yes loop. Because when you can inspire someone to take even small actions, they're going to start thinking of themselves as the kind of person who's taking action to move forward in their lives. And you're the one who inspired them to take those actions. So they're going to be a lot more likely to buy from you to stay consistent with the behaviors they started inside of your marketing, okay? So there are 2 more timeless marketing strategies for you, but if you want more strategies like what I'm sharing in this video, make sure you join my mailing list over at liveyourmessage.com/subscribe, because you'll get all of my latest videos as well as my blogs, my trainings, my free master classes to help you win the game of business. So go on over to liveyourmessage.com/subscribe to get all of that. Now let's keep going with timeless marketing strategy number 3. And this is to be just in time. So when you're just in time, you're creating real urgency where people feel like this isn't just something they want to do, but this is something they want to do right now. And the biggest way that you do that is by having what's called product market match, which is the right product at the right time for the right amount of people. So you want to make a promise, whether that's making a promise to solve a specific problem or deliver a specific outcome that relates to what someone actually wants in their life. And you really want to be honest here. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. If anything, I recommend underpromising and over-delivering, because it's one thing to make promises, and it's a completely different thing to deliver on your promises. And I believe we live in a world right now where the best product with the best marketing, the best branding, and the best customer experience wins. So you want to make sure the promises that you're making in your marketing really align with what it is that you're actually delivering. Because one of the best forms of marketing is customer success. It's the stories, it's the case studies, it's the testimonials, it's the reviews that your real students, clients, and customers share because of the results that you've gotten in their lives and because of how they felt going through your programs. Now, in addition to using customer success as marketing, you really want to build in additional urgency. Whether that is by offering a limited time opportunity, remember just in time is our marketing strategy right here, or because you're able to share the return on investment or the return on action so people understand that when they sign up, when they put down money, when they invest their time, their energy, their money on whatever it is that you have to offer, they're going to see a real return on that investment in terms of results, in terms of problem solved, in terms of quality of life. And if you're not able to demonstrate that return on investment, it can be harder to inspire someone to put down that investment. However, in some cases, you can also demonstrate what's called a cost of inaction. So is there a particular cost that someone may end up paying, not necessarily in terms of money, but in terms of quality of life, in terms of realizing their goals, in terms of realizing their full potential? Is there a cost to not taking action? So when you're able to demonstrate not just the right product to the right market at the right time, but also to create the best marketing, to create the best customer experience, to really optimize your program delivery to get those student results and to demonstrate return on investment or return on action or cost of inaction, your product becomes just in time. Your product goes from being something that someone's interested in buying potentially in the future to something that someone wants to invest in and sign up for right now. So that is timeless marketing principle number 3, which is to be just in time. Now I've got one more timeless marketing strategy for you if you want it, which is timeless marketing strategy number 4, and that is to focus on the problem more than the solution. Now, a lot of people get so obsessed about their solution, the kind of thing that they have created, that they bypass talking about the problem. But in Buddhism, they say that the lotus flower grows with its roots in the mud. In other words, the transformation, the flower, has its roots in the mud of human existence, the problem. And your core solution also has its roots in a particular problem. The reason this really matters is that humans are twice as motivated by pain as they are by pleasure. So if you're able to really identify and highlight the problem that you solve through your core solution, it's going to really make that solution feel a little bit more urgent. Remember, timeless marketing strategy number 3, be just in time. So you become just in time when you can identify a pressing or urgent problem someone has, and then you connect that problem to your core solution. And you want to do this by really showing people the problem versus telling people about the problem, showing people the solution versus telling people about the solution. Make it as vivid as possible and ideally attach your solution to a picture of someone's future self, of what does that transformation look like in their lives? Who are they going to become? What is this solution going to enable them to do? So when you really ground your core solution in the problem that you solve, and you also connect it to a really clear and specific future self vision, what you have to offer becomes so much more compelling. So regardless of what internet marketing tool or platform you use to get out your message, you really are conveying the foundational principles, the 4 timeless marketing strategies that you need to really understand to take advantage of all these great tools and tactics at our disposal. And that is being both ordinary and extraordinary, being a change agent in your marketing, having a marketing message and an offer that feels like it's just in time, and then focusing more on the problem that you solve than the solution that you deliver. Now, with these 4 universal and timeless marketing strategies, you can Think of new ways to incorporate these kind of tools and tactics into your programs to help your students, clients, or customers get the transformation they're after. So let me give you an example of how I took these 4 timeless and universal marketing strategies and I used them to inform a brand new product line that I then used new tools such as ChatGPT to deliver. So for years, I've worked with entrepreneurs across the spectrum, from brand new emerging entrepreneurs all the way to $1 million and $10 million a year thought leaders. And one of the things that I see for the people who still feel like they're stuck at the starting gate is that they have not figured out how to take consistent action to build their business. And they also haven't learned what I like to call the 6 essential skill sets they need to be successful inside of business. And because of that, no other courses, no other tactics can really work for them. So I created this program called Live Your Message Lab to help them become the scientist and experiment lab of their business, to gain these essential business building skill sets and develop the habit of consistent action through simple monthly experiments designed to get them moving, get them doing, and get them expanding their clarity around their niche, their product market match, and also taking actions that will allow them to gain clarity, gain confidence, and build capacity. So I made this brand new offer that really related to a problem that I saw in my students' lives, which is starting and stopping, having these big surges of activity followed by, burning out or grinding to a halt. And I solved this problem through my offer. And in the free workshop I deliver to offer this program, I share my story of how I started out just like everybody else, an ordinary woman who ended up having extraordinary results by taking consistent action. In this workshop, I'm constantly asking questions and involving my audience in what it is that I'm teaching and delivering. So they're responding to me, and by responding to me, they're taking micro actions that have them build that kind of confidence and that identification with being the kind of person who says yes. And then I make a just-in-time offer because you see, I deliver just 1 experiment a month. And once an experiment is delivered, it's never going to be offered again, or at least not for another 3 years. So people know they have to sign up for Live Your Message Lab soon so they don't miss out on vital business building experiments. And then this offer really focuses on the problem that I solve, not just the solution that I deliver, which is getting into consistent action through the monthly experiments, but how to get out of the motivation trap of relying only on taking action to build your business when you feel like it. So can you see how I was able to combine all 4 of these timeless business building principles? I was able to share my story, share how I was both ordinary and extraordinary. I was able to become a change agent by asking them to interact with me in the chat as they attended this workshop. I was able to make a just-in-time offer by showing them how they could start getting into action right away, but also how these experiments are only offered once every 3 years. So there's a reason to sign up now. And finally, I grounded the entire offer and the entire workshop in a problem so many new and emerging entrepreneurs have, and then showed how the solution was really solving that particular problem. And then in some of the experiments, I actually integrated new tools and technologies such as ChatGPT. For example, in one of our experiments, the micro niche experiment, I encourage people to come up with dozens of different ideas of what their business could be, who they could serve, and what they could do, because oftentimes a more unusual, specialized idea is the idea that really takes. And rather than relying exclusively on the ideas they could generate themselves, I built them a micro niche generator to generate endless options for things they could do and people they could serve. And my students are absolutely loving this. So can you see how when you combine the 4 timeless and universal marketing strategies with new tools, new tactics, and new techniques, you can create something that people are really going to respond to, and that really up your impact and your income beyond what you thought was possible. Now, if you want to see an example of how I do this inside of that workshop I was just talking about, go to liveyourmessage.com/unlock and watch my video on unlocking the science of consistent action. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, because I've got a lot more videos about online business and internet marketing coming up, just like this one. And if you don't want to wait until my next videos come out, we've got a lot more videos right here on this channel that you can watch right away, including how to improve your online writing style to skyrocket your results and 21 internet marketing tips you should know. All right, so keep watching, keep learning, but most importantly, keep doing. Go out there and live your message.